Welcome to this quick broadcast of the best game model. And in this one, which will be one of two parts, we're going to cover strategy. And it's called Strategy in 5 Steps, Allocating Precious Resources for Their Highest and Best Use. In these 2 sessions, this is the first of 2, we are going to talk about strategy. And I've split it up into 2 parts for reasons I think that you will see. One is probably a little more philosophical, and the other is more practical. But I think in the first session, what we'll do is we'll create a really good foundation for the second session. This time, we're going to focus on a 4th element of a really good game, and that 4th element is strategy. And because there are really 2 critical tools you need to know about, like I told you before, we will break this topic into 2 parts. In this session, we'll focus on vision, and the tool I like best to build a solid vision is called future facts, and we'll explore that. And then in the next session, we'll tackle SMART goals, which is really sort of getting down in the weeds. Let me start by asking you a question. Have you ever driven in the fog? And if you have driven in the fog, how fast do you go? And how do you feel if you go fast? If you're like me, driving fast while not being sure of what lurking obstacle may suddenly appear out of the mist makes me very uptight. So I drive pretty slowly, and the tension in my body is reflective of the fear that I feel. Now, how do you drive on a clear day on an open road? And then how fast you go, and how do you feel when you do that? Today we're going to explore a way to clear away the fog from our organizations, and I'm going to try to give you a tool that will help you and your team feel much more comfortable with the future, just because they have a really good idea of what's ahead. They can go fast, they can charge ahead. I've got a couple of goals here. The first is to define strategy, and the second is to give you a couple of tools to determine and then implement your strategy. And the first is future facts, which is really vision, which is what we're going to talk about in this session. And the second session will be SMART goals. Allow me to define strategy. Strategy is a master plan or grand design to achieve one or more goals in the face of uncertainty. That is your sort of pre-thinking, not just what you want and how you're going to get it with scarce and precious resources, which is your strategic plan, but you're also pre-thinking what might happen to you along the way, and those are your contingencies. I'll remind you, I think we've talked about this before. If not, this is something you really, I think, want to get down, is that success is determined by how well you allocate scarce and precious resources for the highest and best use in pursuit of making your mission happen, or making a goal happen. Your question then should be is, how do I put together a strategy to take those scarce and precious resources, use them for their highest and best use in pursuit of either the mission or a particular goal? So how do I put together a strategy? Well, let me give you a visual map that will give you the 5 steps for putting together a strategy. Step 1 is that you start with a goal, which is your why, and that was covered in our first session. And the second thing that you do is that you come up with your rules, or review your rules, which was covered in our second session. And the third thing you do is you get a vision, which is all about future facts, and that's covered in this section, followed by a set of SMART goals, which is our next part of session 2. And then finally, measurement is where mission meets math, and a place where you can celebrate your win. Let's talk about future facts. What are future facts? Future facts are simply a word picture of ideal descriptions of really good future performance. Future facts are seeing a particular future as an essential tool for making things happen. It's essential because leaders are expected to communicate in a way that literally lifts the fog for others on the team, enabling everyone to respond more quickly and safely in a changing environment. Future facts give meaning and purpose to the trip, and it's possible to have a lot more fun when everybody can see more clearly and farther into the distance. So how do you build your own future facts? Well, I want to draw on some work by two Harvard guys named Kaplan and Norton. They did some work called a balanced scorecard. Here's some ideas for aspects you may want to communicate that will differentiate you from the competition and are strategically important to reaching your organization's overarching goal. The first one is financial. What's the priority financially? And let me give you an example. While our financial performance should and always be positive, it is not our goal to be wildly profitable, but to develop a financial model that equally benefits all of our stakeholders, clients, employees, and owners. What I just gave you is a future fact that I wrote for Decision Grid. The second area is people or team members, culture, our approach to work. Let me give you a future fact from Decision Grid again. We constantly affirm that our team members are the primary reason for organizational success and growth. They are engaged, and I put that in quotation marks, in supplying the accurate and timely information our stewardship partner requires for success. We choose and then cultivate employees to own the services Decision Grid supplies to partner clients. Our culture is one of ownership, participation, growth, and cooperation. The next area is systems, and this is like systems excellence. These are the things that you must do over and over again with quality. The example again from Decision Grid, our Decision Grid playbook, is that our systems for compiling and sharing timely and accurate information are constantly evolving in response to our stewardship partners' needs and those of the people they serve. We are constantly evaluating our processes and systems to improve them. The last thing that Kaplan and Norton say that you should focus on to have a strong company are your customers. Here is what I say about our customers in future fact form. Our customers experience lively and ongoing growth based on the inspired decisions they are able to make based on the timely and accurate information we supply. We choose to offer our services only to stewardship partner clients that are making a net contribution to improving the quality of life for their clients and their team members. Let's review. What did you learn in this session about strategy in 5 steps? First of all, we've defined strategy as a master plan or grand design to achieve one or more goals in the face of uncertainty. The second thing we did was say success is determined by how well you allocate scarce and precious resources for their highest and best use in pursuit of a goal. And we said the steps to developing strategy are 5. First, a goal. Second, you've got to review your rules. Third, you've got to come up with a vision or get a vision. And fourth, then develop SMART goals. And 5, finally, measurement. Future facts are ideal descriptions of a really good future performance in 4 areas: financial, people and team, systems, and then customers and clients. When we started out, we had these goals, and how'd we do? I think that we got through all of them. I look forward to seeing you again in the next section or part 2 of strategy.